Hi everyone, Sumit Chandra this side, and I welcome you to our channel Solution Bridge Network and one-stop solution for all your Power Platform tutorials. In today's video, we are going to look at something that's not natively supported in Power BI, but extremely useful: page level security. That means showing different report pages to different users based on their role or access rights. While Power BI doesn't have an inbuilt feature for this, I will walk you through a workaround, row level security, dynamic buttons, and DAX logic to achieve the same result. Let's take a real world example. Suppose you are building a report for both global views and restricted views. The global view role allow us to access all the pages, but restricted view role allow users to see some pages. You don't want them scrolling through irrelative pages. But there is the catch. Power BI doesn't have an option to secure pages like it does for data. So, what we will do is mimic page level security using a smart navigation technique combined with row level security and some DAX tricks. Let me show you the demo first, then we will discuss the limitation and best practices to implement page level security. You can see I have this Power BI report, and here you can see I have four pages. This is my first page and the page name is home page. Apart from this, I have three other pages, that is page 1. For now, ignore the content that we have in those pages. We have page 2 and we have page 3. And you can see we have hide all the other pages except our home page. So the idea is, in home page we will create a navigation so that from here, based on user access rights, they can see the page names and they can navigate those pages. Now let me explain it in details how we can achieve it. Before that, let me show you the tables that we have. So here we have a calendar table, a financial table, and we created this security table to achieve the page level security navigation. First, let me show you the model view. Here you can see we have a one-to-many relationship with our fact tables and calendar tables, and we have a disconnected security table. Now let me come to table view, and here you can see we have pages. So here I put the page names that we have. So here we have page 1, page 2 and page 3. So here I put the page names, those I hidden from there. And here you need to remember that this name should be exactly as is you mention there inside report view. Now, here I am creating a global role and a restricted role. And here you can see in global role, for all the pages I mention true. And for restricted roles, I mention true for page 1 and page 2, and see, in page 3 we mentioned false. So if needed, you can create more than two roles as well, and here we will achieve it through static row level security. But if you want, you can simply create one roles, and you need to mention the page names and the user details, and accordingly you can configure dynamic RLS and you can achieve the same. If you are interested to more about RLS, we have some other videos for the same, and you can find the link from here. Now let me come to report view. In report view, let me add a slicer first. So I added a slicer, and here from security I'll drag the page column in field section. Now we need to format it. So let me open the format pane. Now in slicer setting, in selection, we will enable single selection, and based on this page selection we will configure the navigation for the users. So here at a times user can select a single page only. Now let me insert a button to enable the navigation. For the same, I will click on insert buttons, and here let me select this right arrow for now. Let me drag it here and place it properly. Now the idea is when users select any particular page, they will click here, and based on this click they will landed on that particular page, and on top of it we will configure RLS, and based on roles the page names will be available to the users. So let me configure this navigation button first. Let me select it. Here we will enable this action button, and after expanding it in action, let me select page navigation. In destination, I will not select any page. Otherwise, always it will navigate to that particular page only. Here you can see we have a FX button. Let us click on this FX button, and here let me come to the table. So security and page, and here in summarization we will select first. Let me click on OK. So we will configure this for now. Let me show you how it works for now. So I have selected page 1, and as we are in Power BI desktop, so let me click on control, and if I click on this button, so we landed in page 1. For now we have this home page as well, so we can directly click on home page and then we'll navigate to different page as well. But when we publish it in service, this home page navigation will not visible for them. So to come to home page, we need to again add another button. So let me add this back button, and we will put it in right place inside the report. And here action, let me select page navigation, and in destination we'll put home page. So now if you just click on this back arrow, they will landed back to the home page. Similarly, if someone click on page 2 and after pressing control, if they click on this arrow button, they will landed on page 2. Here also we will configure the same. Let me come to button, back button, and here let me place it. Then here we'll select page navigation, and destination will be home page. Similarly, we need to replicate it for page 3 as well. Here also we will insert a button, we will place it, then in action we will select page navigation, and in destination we will select home page. So we configure all the navigation and everything. Now we need to create different roles so that based on roles the number of page will be visible to the users. For creating roles, we need to click on modeling tab, then we can click on manage roles. So first I'll click on new roles, and here let me rename it to global, and we'll impose the security in our security table. So here let us create a rule. Here simply we will select global, and the condition is true. So in global everything is true, so they will able to see all the pages. Let me click on save. Now we'll create another roles, and let me rename it and put the name as restricted users. And in security, let me create the rules. So here I'll select restricted is true. So if you remember, as we discussed earlier, in restricted column inside page 3, we said false. So in this role, only page 1 and page 2 will be visible to the users to whom we will assign this role. Here we will not use any formula for user principal name as we mentioned true and false inside the columns. But if you wanted to achieve it through dynamic row level security, you can configure it like that. Let me click on save and then we'll close it. Let me save my file and we can test it in Power BI desktop as well, and then we'll see it inside Power BI service. So if I click on view roles, and here if I click on restricted and click on OK, you can see only page 1 and 2 is visible. But if I come to global, you can see all the 3 pages are visible here. So let me click on stop viewing. Now we will publish this and see it inside Power BI service. Let me publish it. I hit on publish button. Then we will select the workspace name. I am selecting this workspace name. Let me select and it will publish. So you can see we have published our report successfully. Let me click on this button. Now let me go to Power BI service. So you can see here we have the reports. Now we need to assign the security. To assign the security, we need to click on this triple dot in the semantic model. We come to security and here you can see we have two roles, global and restricted. Now inside restricted roles, let me select a user called Sabri and let me add him here. I am adding him and let me click on save. Now we need to test that how the things will be visible for him. For the same, inside role, we'll click on this triple dot and test as role. In test as role, here you can select the person and put the email ID of that person and click on apply, and here you can see as it is restricted role and we assign the user in this role, so only page 1 and page 2 is visible for him, and the user can select any of the pages and they can navigate to that pages, and again through this button they can come back to home pages. Now let us discuss about some limitation of this page level security that we configured. This approach doesn't fully restrict access to the page itself, just hides the navigation. Hide pages from the navigation pane to avoid accidental accesses. Do not configure drill through features. Otherwise, they can access on other pages as well. Now, we will discuss about some best practices and tips. Always combine this method with proper RLS to protect sensitive data. You can also use Active Directory groups or a mapping Excel file to assign roles dynamically for a larger audience, especially in enterprise scenarios. So that's how you can implement page level security in Power BI using a mix of RLS, DAX, and clever navigation tricks. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, hit the like button and press the bell icon for the new video alerts.